You don't need beans for amazing chili. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make the best Texas chili. Hi friends, it's Christina with eatingonadime.com. Welcome to our kitchen. My sister Carrie and I share easy, simple, family-friendly recipes on eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to teach everyone how to make delicious meals at home. Now, I love a good chili, but I have one daughter that hates beans. So, a good compromise is a delicious, amazing Texas chili. They generally has no beans, and this is an easy one-pot dinner that's gonna please the entire family. Now, a good hearty chili is generally not, or good hearty Texas chili is generally not made with ground beef, but with stew meat. It kind of makes up for the no beans. It makes it a little bit heartier. Now, you can sub ground beef if you would like, but I love stew meat. You can use a diced roast, diced steak if you're feeling fancy, but definitely don't need to because that's a higher price point. But that's the key to the best chili. Now, before we get started, let me remind you, this recipe is linked in the description below, so you don't have to write anything down. You can just find that link, you can save it, pin it, print it, do all the things. We're gonna get this chili started, but I wanted to talk about the meat I'm using. I'm using 4 pounds of diced chuck roast. Yes, 4 pounds. This is a nice hearty chili that easily feeds 8 to 10, and it's made in one big pot. I went ahead and just diced it up and trimmed it off of any fat. Again, you can use stew meat, you can use ground beef, whatever you're craving. So we're gonna go ahead and get this browned for extra flavor, and then we'll get all the veggies chopped. Heat 2 tablespoons oil in a large stock pot over medium-high heat. Now this is 4 total. I'm gonna do about half of it because I'm gonna brown this beef in 2 batches. Once the oil is heated through, add about half of that beef to the pot and get it as in an even layer as possible. Just because you're going to get all the sides nice and browned. Now season it with salt and pepper. For each batch, I'm going to do about a teaspoon of salt because this is a big pot, and then a half a teaspoon of pepper. So try to resist the urge to toss it immediately. You want to let the beef sit and get nice and browned on the one side before it's turned. Once you get it nice and browned on one side, go ahead and flip, and we're going to brown the other side as well. My tongs weren't working fast enough, so I'm going to use the spatula. Just move it around and get a nice good brown on the other side of the meat. This adds a ton of flavor to the chili. So for this recipe, it's a step worth taking. Once that batch is nice and brown, remove it from the pan to a separate plate. Add in the remaining beef. Season it again with salt and pepper. I'm doing a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of the pepper. And we're going to do the same thing and let this brown on both sides. While the beef is browning, we're gonna go ahead and prepare the veggies. So you'll need 1 whole onion. I'm gonna dice chops finely. For my veggies, I love using this veggie chopper. I'm gonna link it in the description below in case you guys are interested. It makes everything go way faster. So for the onions, I always recommend you just cut off both ends, the top and the bottom. Get them out of here, get them out of here. And then cut in half and peel off that outer flimsy layer, just like that. Any other skin. And then quarter the half from there and place it into the veggie chopper. So when I use the veggie chopper, I put the cut side down, and you get beautifully diced onions every single time. Now we're gonna add some jalapeños. You can't have a Texas chili without the heat from a jalapeno. For this recipe, I'm going to do 3, and I'm going to top it up with my veggie chopper as well. But you do want these de-seeded so it's not super spicy. Now, if you are feeling adventurous, you could leave the seeds in one, but that's kind of risky, so do at your own risk. Okay, so when you cut a jalapeno, cut the ends off, then cut it in half lengthwise. I use a spoon to scoop out the seeds and the membranes because it makes it real easy. Just right down the center. Done. And then you can chop it with your veggie chopper. And they will be sauteed with the onions, so it's fine just to add it with the mixture with the onions. So I've already cut the ends off of the jalapeno. Cut it in half lengthwise. Make sure you guys can see it. And then just take a spoon. Sorry, my angle is hard to show you guys, but just scrape it down the center and it's gonna get all the seeds and the membranes off. It works perfectly every single time. The next thing we wanna get ready is the Chipotle Peppers. Now this is gonna give that chili that nice smoky flavor with a little bit of heat. When you get the Chipotle Peppers, they come in a can. It's labeled Chipotle Peppers and Adobo Sauce. This is a can here. We just need 2 peppers out of the can, which I've already taken out. Make sure you freeze these and save these for future recipes because they last pretty near forever in the freezer, let me tell you. And we're gonna finally chop up these peppers. Now I don't wanna use my chopper because they're not added at the same time as the onion. So I'm just gonna put them on my cutting board and use my favorite knife and dice it right on up. And you do want it finely chopped so it's gonna cook down into the sauce. Now on this pepper, do not worry about removing any of the seeds. They stay in there. It doesn't add a ton of heat, so you're gonna be fine flavor-wise. Back to our pot. The beef is nice and brown now. This is the second batch. So we're just gonna go ahead and remove this from the pan as well. Add in the remaining oil. It's about a couple more tablespoons of oil. And you can kind of use it to scrape up the brown bits in the pan because that's gonna add in a lot of flavor. Add those diced onions and jalapenos, and we're gonna let these saute until they're nice and soft. So about 5 to 7 minutes, depending on your heat in your pan. Just saute them in that oil. Once those are soft, add in a tablespoon of minced garlic or 3 cloves garlic minced. Let that cook for about a minute until you can smell the garlic. We call this activating the garlic. Now you're gonna add in all the other ingredients. So start by returning that beef back to the pan. Then add in 4 cups of beef broth or 1 32-ounce carton, whichever you prefer. Now you can use beef bouillon cubes instead if you would like. I do recommend that or beef broth for the most flavor. Add in 1 15-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Now for the seasoning. Start with 2 tablespoons chili powder. Can't have chili without chili powder. Then 1 tablespoon smoked paprika, 1 tablespoon cumin, a tablespoon dried oregano, 1 tablespoon brown sugar, either light or dark. This is going to help take the acidity out of the tomatoes and add just a hint of sweetness. 2 teaspoons coriander, 1/4 teaspoon cinnamon. This is going to get it that authentic Texas chili. Add in 2 bay leaves. Then add in those chopped diced chipotle peppers. And then last but not least, 2 tablespoons tomato paste. Now this will not be a whole jar of tomato paste, so make sure you freeze the rest for a future recipe. Gently stir to combine all these ingredients. Turn the heat up to high and bring this mixture to a boil. Once it's boiling, cover. Turn the heat down to low, and we're gonna let this simmer for 2 hours, stirring every so often so it doesn't burn until that beef is nice and tender. Okay, it's been cooking for about 2.5 hours now. So I did take a piece out to taste test it to make sure that it is nice and I do recommend that you take a piece out after the 2 hours and let it come to room temperature and then try it to see. You want the beef nice and tender, and if it's not, continue to cook it on low until it is tender. And if you want it to thicken up, you can cook with the lid off until some of that excess heat cooks off, or excess liquid cooks off, sorry. Once that beef is nice and tender, it is ready to serve. Now, before serving, make sure you remove the bay leaves. I just stir the chili until I see like the end of it, and I just pull it out. And then it's ready to serve with your favorite chili toppings. So let me know in the comments, what do you like to top your chili with? I'm kind of a simple girl. I just like a little cheese and either a little green onions or red onions. I'm gonna do green onions today, but either is great, but I love the addition of red onions. Some people are sour cream. You could put some Fritos on top. Whatever you're craving would be amazing. Okay, friends, time for my favorite part, taste testing. That beef is so tender. I can cut it with my spoon. It's amazing. And the flavor is delicious. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you try out this new Texas chili recipe and let me know what you think. You don't need beans for an amazing, delicious, hearty chili that'll keep you warm all winter long. Also, don't forget, I've linked this in the description below so you can save it, print it, pin it, do all the things. Thank you so much for joining me today in our kitchen. I will see you guys next time. And until then, remember friends, as always, make sure you eat at home by eating on a dime. Bye friends.